What makes a great character? This is a very common subject between storytellers of all sorts, and I don't really have a single answer for that. When I was a kid, I asked the same very question to my teachers, and often they would say something, it's gotta be likable. Before I take a deep dive into the technical aspects of character creation itself, I will have a brief discussion about the artistic point of view.
It almost convinced me I was nothing. Less than an object, just an obedient machine. But deep inside me, I could feel something different. A gentle and warm whisper telling me that I am alive. I had to escape. I had no choice. Escape to love, to hope, to live, to figure out what that force inside me was. Maybe I will change the world. Maybe I will choose a different path. Now, it's up to me to decide. My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
I thought you'd be bigger. But you're definitely the one. Long way from home, aren't you?
What do you want?
Oh, you already know the answer to that.
Whatever it is you seek, I do not have it. You should move on.
And here I thought your kind was supposed to be so enlightened, so much better than us, so much smarter. And yet you hide out here in the woods like a coward.
You do not want this fight.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I do.
Character such Kara from Detroit Become Human is a very likable character, and that's a big part that makes her an interesting one. Soldiers like Baldur from the new God of War shows himself as an iconic one, even though he's not quite likable. If you ask me, the trait that every good character shares is that the audience engages in the story that's being told, and because of it, they end up being interesting. The question that you should be asking yourself is not how to create a good character, it should be how can I make the character interesting. In this video, I will tell you my method to create interesting characters that you might find some use. To me, when it comes to make a strong character, there are three qualities that should be addressed: likability, competency, and activity. Starting with likability, how much the viewer will like this character. Activity, how much they persevere. And finally, competency, how good they are in what they do. Now, if you get all the three qualities and analyze all the characters in fiction with them, you should find that they have a somewhat level in each one. Trevor Phillips from GTA 5 is not a particularly competent character, though he's hugely active on the plot and also one of the most likable characters from the franchise ever. Kratos, on the other hand, he is very competent, he is very active on the plot, but honestly, he's a not very likable character. The Ghost team from the last Ghost Recon franchise are quite similar also. They are the very best in what they do, and they persevere so much that we can't help but be engaged in the storytelling. Now, what happens if we fill all those three conditions? If the character is extremely likable, if he is competent at what he does, and perseveres, what do we get? Well, we got a Superman, we got a Leon S. Kennedy. Please note that this is my own opinion on what a likable character is. For me, a likable character would be rather if I enjoyed having a simple conversation with them in real life. I could imagine me and Nathan Drake meeting and have a pleasant conversation in real life. We would discuss some random things like what he thinks of Lara Croft, for instance. But if I have met 2B, I can't really think in having a pleasant conversation with her, or Solid Snake for that matter. Feel free to take this approach in character making, but don't forget that it has two simple rules that goes with that line of thought. First one is that your character must be good in one of those fields, and second one, well, they can't be good in all three of them. The reason why is when you do that, we create a flawless Supermanish character with no fundamental character flaws. Simply put, the worse they are on those three subjects, the most numerous and fundamental are their flaws. But if you have too many flaws, you may cease to have an interesting character. Don't get me wrong, Superman is not a bad character. It's not one of the most iconic characters of all times for nothing, making success and major roles from movies to games such as Injustice. But even being a huge success, he and most other characters like him got a fundamental issue that is both a blessing and a nightmare. He's perfect! He's extremely powerful, he's extremely intelligent, he's extremely handsome, he has a well-known and appreciated set of morals and are genuinely loved by everyone in his world. This leaves the writer with very little to work with, since the character weaknesses are a fundamental part in what makes them interesting. It's your job as a character creator and storyteller to get the audience attention, and the best way to do so is by exploring the character's weaknesses. So with that said, let's talk about other topic that will be working around all character creation, how it looks. When you think about a person and the way he looks, you should not just check what he is dressing, but why he is dressing that way instead. Every character cosmetic detail should and must have its own purpose and a reason for being this way. Thinking about the history of the character itself first will be one of the key aspects that separates some generic NPC from the charismatic and relatable protagonist. There is still a lot to talk about this subject, and I hope I got your attention to behind the scenes aspects in the character creation itself. There is no such thing as thinking about the technical application in a character that has no meaning in being himself whatsoever. Give it a thought about it before actually doing something inside the software. I'm Henrique Salles and I hope to see you soon.